A poem for my younger self. I watched a city I once lived in become a memory. One day I'll tell my future grandkids about living in San Francisco, how I took most of these videos to romanticize my day and combat the underlying feelings of loneliness, love, and hope. I felt it all in one place. I'll tell them about how I grieved my early 20s while walking to my favorite coffee shop in the city, how I realized getting older is scary while looking at the Golden Gate Bridge. Let me grieve a version of myself I left here. She did everything she could here.
Now you're really close.
Chapter 1. Making a house out of a home. Making a house out of a home you didn't grow up in feels nostalgic. It's friends coming together at a dining room table to speak about what happened last night, about the new job opportunity. It almost feels like a sitcom. It feels like an invitation to be yourself. I wish everyone could feel that once in their lifetime. Chapter 2. Car talks are good for the soul.
Well, I saw that video when I was in high school. It must have been like 18. No, it must have been like 17, 18, around there, you know? But the video was about like someone putting gloves on like repeatedly, and that forever changed my mind, because I think until that point I was like, art is only painting, art is only drawing, art is only like, you know, that type of shit, where I wasn't really like good at like sculptures and shit until I saw that video, and I was like, dude, that is art within itself. Like, and then I started thinking, then bitch, if that is Lakma, anything can be Lakma. Like, anything can be fucking art, right? Like, all the fucking video, all it was showing was just someone putting gloves on, and like winter gloves, fucking dishwashing gloves over that same glove, and then just taking that glove off, bro. And until this day I haven't seen that video, but like that changed my mind, because I'm like, art can be anything, and you can incorporate it into videos where other people can like me, who don't really, you know, get the side of like the drawing sometimes, or like the painting. Sometimes I'm just like, what, that's just a fucking blank canvas with like random splatter, you know? Where like, yes, it's cool, I feel it, you know, it's the emotion behind it, but the glove video hit me harder than anything else would. And I feel like
Chapter 3. The in-between. The smallest moments that we don't think are important, but seem to be the things we miss the most when they leave. As I'm sitting here looking back at all these versions of myself, I wish I could go back and tell her that these are the moments that she's gonna remember in the end. It's the routines, like the routines that seem so mundane, that don't seem important, or the people around you that you get to travel with. Those are the important parts of life. Like the routine coffee hangouts where you just debriefed the night before. Although I know that those served its time, it is super nostalgic to look back on it, because I was always waiting for the next big thing to happen, and I really didn't understand that this is what life is about. It's about taking these moments in, and it may not always feel like it's a movie, but you can always re-edit your life and just have a good time looking at those in-between moments. Like, it's possible. Chapter 4. My room. I became a different person in the four walls of this room. I'd describe her as fearless. She cries at night. She wonders what's next. She tries to make sense of it all. She thinks about all the women in her life who may not have had the opportunity to think so much, to think out loud. Is this what breaking the norm feels like? She whispers. This must be the price of rediscovering yourself in a room. My room. Sometimes I don't talk out loud, and it kind of reminds me how much I save in my head. And I'm like, that's actually not the greatest coping thing. I've been dating, and that's been a freaking trip. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be dating. That's been kind of hard. I've been figuring out what I want, but in clearing out my space is definitely a way for me to feel like, okay, everything is clean, everything is good, at least like that I have under control. The rest will come. I've been thinking about this room and everything that I've been through in this room. It's a big deal. I feel like I've never lived in a space where I feel like I'm so comfortable with the people around me and stuff, but I know that like I have this over-longing feeling of feeling like, okay, I don't know, like this hopelessness of like, when will things get better? And I just feel like that's like our society, when you're just never satisfied with what you have. And I said that I wouldn't like repeat that, and yet here I am. But like, not being so judgmental about it. Today I did like a meditation this morning, which I haven't done in a long time. Like there was a time during the pandemic I was doing meditations. Like I almost hit an hour meditation. I was like, yeah. And I was still sad during that time, and I was still going through, like, when I say sad, like depression and shit, but it helped me like cope. And like this morning in my meditation, something that just kept coming up, it was like, I don't know, it's weird, like you can't explain, it's like not something telling you, but it's like energy, and then you kind of, I don't know, interpret it. And today's interpretation for me was just like this overlonging feeling, being like, okay, I'm going through this wave of depression again. Now is the time to use the tools, like, you know, because all this time I've been like, oh, it's when it's good, you know, but it's hard to get yourself out of depression. Who told me, she's like my dream YouTube girl, if I could do my videos, like not like someone, but like dream inspiration to start YouTube was Hitomi. And she just is so real. And she talked about like, if you are someone who goes through really high highs and then really low lows, when you're high off of that, like feeling good, feeling unstoppable, like make yourself a letter for when the next time you're feeling low, that you can tell yourself like, I'm like, this is the feeling at the end, or something like that. I've yet to do it. I'm feeling more in control today, but I wouldn't say it's like my biggest high. Chapter 5, Hope. Hope feels like things make sense. Like everything you ever struggled with makes this exact moment worth it. It feels like falling in love with life again. Like all the versions of yourself are ready to begin again. It feels like watching a movie of your life and you're in the audience cheering for yourself, yelling at the screen, keep going. It feels like the part of the movie where you're cheering this person on and you're like, just get to the next place. You don't know what's waiting for you. Don't give up now. Hope in a way is serendipity. It's this feeling that one can't exist without the other. So all those moments that I went through, what I went through in 2023 were necessary. And as I look back at all these memories, I'm so hopeful for the future, the good and the bad. And I know that when I'm in the bad, it may not feel like that, but I hope that I'm sending this letter to myself that it gets better. And if I'm not at a place, my future self, whatever 2024, like I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, La Esperanza. That's what I want to feel next year, obviously in waves. And I'm just proud of myself with how far I've come. 2024, I am living it up in all my feelings and all my experiences. I'm super, super excited, and I can't wait to see what I create next year and how I continue to live just like the creative life that I'm gonna live in. Y eso es el sentimiento que todos quieren sentir, ¿no? Que la esperanza existe y va a existir en el futuro, ¿no?